This is the Uptick Newswire Stock Day podcast, sponsored by InvestorsHangout.com. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube to stay up to date on penny stock news and interviews, public information on OTC, pink sheets, and microcap stocks from around the world, with your host, Everett Jolly.
On today's show, I'm bringing you a new company, but this CEO has been on my show before. We're talking about Buying Collective Holdings. The CEO of the company is Rod Smith, and he's here on the show today to bring us up to speed of what he's been doing for the last 16 months. Rod, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you again today.
Rod, what have you accomplished in the last 16 months since you founded Buying Collective Holdings Incorporated?
Well, we've expended about $2 million to accomplish a number of things that are very significant. First of all, we entered into an asset purchase agreement with Green PolkaDot Box Incorporated to acquire all of its goodwill, intellectual property, and then we formed a joint venture with Green PolkaDot Box for the completion of what I'm going to describe to you in detail, hopefully, what we call the Health Merchant digital application. Now, since that agreement was reached, we established a new operating company to take the name of Green PolkaDot Box. It's a subsidiary in BCHI that is now known as Green PolkaDot Box LLC. We formed that operating company to enable both companies to execute the joint venture. We also established distributor agreements with over 300 of the nation's top organic and non-GMO food brands, or what we like to call clean food brands. We've got another 300 or so that we're working on right now. We have invested stock about $400,000 in clean food inventory stock, comprised of about 1,600 unique products. We've activated 91 of our online health merchant stores that have collectively about 31,000 potential customers. And we commenced operations through the joint venture, the operating company, Green PolkaDot Box LLC, that I referred to. In Q1, we did about $200,000 in sales, representing about 4% in orders from our potential customer base of 31,000 people. But here's the biggest and most exciting news. Since we commenced operations in the early part of the first quarter, January and February, we reached new health merchant agreements with 5 of the world's most influential organizations that support the clean food movement. We referred to these as super health merchants who are using our new digital application that we developed and who collectively have direct reach to more than 16 million potential customers. So our marketing database is going to increase substantially here as these new stores open in the next several weeks.
Now, you guys are still in the organic food space, correct?
That's right. Exclusively organic, non-GMO foods, what we call clean foods.
So tell my listeners and myself a little bit about your health merchant program and where you're at in that space and how you're working it.
Well, you know, the marketplace is flooded with online stores, brick and mortar stores that sell clean foods to one degree or another. Prominent competitors, of course, will be companies like Amazon, Whole Foods, and iHerb, Vitacost.com, etc. We've learned in our experience that consumers respond to the offerings of trusted influencers they know, people or organizations with whom they have relationships. So we started and expended a great deal of money to develop a digital application called the Health Merchant Program. It enables market influencers to have their own online stores on our platform and market clean foods direct to their own customers with whom they have a relationship. Kind of an example, everybody knows Uber. Well, Uber basically built a digital application that would combine or drivers, people that owned automobiles, with people that needed rides. And that application attracted over 1 million subscribers and hundreds of thousands of drivers, and quickly turned Uber into a multi-billion-dollar company. We've essentially done the same thing. We created a digital application that connects market influencers with their own constituents, their own customer base, to be able to market clean foods directly to them at the lowest prices guaranteed. We've learned that by marketing through influencers, the message is delivered to the customer more effectively, and the customers are more likely to respond to any offerings by those influencers. So in other words, we've created a new digital application that enables us to completely disrupt the current distribution system for organic and non-GMO foods. The market's expanding. There are 70 million potential clean food consumers out there who we believe are going to respond to their local health merchant, the person or organization with whom they have a high level of trust and confidence, and that going forward, they're going to buy their clean foods from them with free delivery to their door at the lowest prices guaranteed.
Today, my guest is Rod Smith. He is the CEO of Buying Collective Holdings. And I understand, Rod, you guys are getting ready to launch a new offering. Can you tell us about that?
Well, yeah, it's the big news for potential investors. Again, if I don't think I made the point clearly, but we are going from having approximately 30,000 customers in our database to over 16 million customers because we've signed agreements with these major market influencers. Now, a little bit about our offering. To be able to fulfill orders, to be able to meet the coming demand from those 16 million customers, we need inventory and a modest amount of working capital. So we've created a new offering that combines common stock with an 18% promissory note, and that is extremely attractive. It's offered at a 50% discount to the current market valuation for the company. And as a little incentive, I'm chipping in some of my own personal shares to sweeten the deal to make the offering even more attractive to investors.
How can investors learn more about this offering, and when will you be doing it?
Well, the offering was officially announced to our existing shareholders and really to the nation through a press release that's going to go out in the morning. We're going to have a nationwide conference call tomorrow night. For people that might want to participate in the conference call, I'll give you a little bit of information. You can dial into 801-893-2624 tomorrow night at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. I will be leading the discussion and providing information. People that want to get an advanced look at a summary of the offering can go to bchinc.com/investors. That's bchinc.com/investors.
And that call-in will be, when you say tomorrow night, that would be on May 3rd, correct?
That is correct. Today's May 2nd, so tomorrow will be May 3rd, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 801-893-2624. We'll go over the details of the offering.
Rod, I want to thank you for coming on the show. In closing, is there anything that we didn't get a chance to touch upon that you would like to illustrate to my listeners?
Well, thank you for offering. I think that we've really touched on everything. It's just that we are about to take a quantum leap because of what we've accomplished in the last 16 months, having a finished digital application now, and we're ready to go to market. We have the potential to bring on 2,000 more health merchants this year, but just what we've done in signing these super health merchants in the last 90 days has been extraordinary, and it will catapult the company's growth.
I want to thank you for coming on the show. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Take a look at the company and its prospectus. You might want to even take a look and talk to some of your investment advisors. They are going to be doing, like you said, a phone interview and giving you more information on the company tomorrow night. Rod, thank you very much for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Everett. Nice catching up with you again.
This program is entirely sponsored and produced by Uptick Newswire, LLC, which is responsible for the content. The opinions and information provided on this program are those of the guests and those of the respective companies they represent, and do not necessarily reflect those of the staff or management of Uptick Newswire. Uptick Newswire encourages all listeners of this program to do their due diligence and research when determining investment strategies that will work for them, or to seek the assistance of an investment professional. The guests of this program may have paid for its distribution and are not directly affiliated with Uptick Newswire or this station.